Well, good morning everyone, and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Not a lot to show you today, but what I want to do is just have a look at the Angraecum sesquipedale and try and tell you something about it. Well, here's the plant I have, and it's in an 18 centimetre pot across the top and 22 centimetres deep, and it's got 6 pairs of leaves and another leaf growing on top, and it measures 2 feet across, so it's not a small plant. So this is the one I want to talk about. Angraecum sesquipedale flowers in the northern regions around about December, January, starts throwing spikes out around about September. This plant flowers in the northern hemisphere in the winter time, and that is why sometimes it's called the Star of Bethlehem orchid, the Christmas orchid, the Comet orchid, and it's the orchid made famous by Charles Darwin. The word sesquipedale is from the Latin. It means a foot and a half, which refers to the spur on the flower. You know, the long thing that the moth puts its tongue down to get the pollen, and a foot and a half is quite a long one. It's a slow growing plant, and I've had this for about at least 8 years. How do you keep them in winter? I water them when they're almost dry. In fact, I do let them go dry in winter for a day or two, and then I water them. But in summer I like to keep them moist with no drying out, and I feed them very, very lightly with each watering. Regarding light, I give this less than Cattleya light but more than Phalaenopsis. So I suppose if you put them in a bright shaded spot which gets no direct sunlight, then that's the place you want to put it. Don't put them in full sunshine at all during the warmer months. This will only contribute to unsightly leaf burns, which will always be there until the plant grows so big that the leaves drop off. So if you burn the leaves, you'll have a job getting rid of them. Look at the roots on this one. Very thick, hard, almost like steel. This is must be in 2 or 3 pots which I've never moved. When it was small, it was in a small pot, of course. When it grew bigger, I kept it in that pot, put it in a bigger pot, and now it's even in a bigger pot. The roots are very, very big, and this one is actually sticking to the pot. Roots round the back. Are tending to do the same thing. You can see these yellow marks on the leaves. This is where I left it outside in shade in summer, and I didn't bother much with it, and it got some mealybug, and this is the cause of it. But nevertheless, it's growing well now and doing okay. These are epiphytic orchids. They grow on branches of trees and on tree trunks, but mainly around about sea level. So you can grow them on slabs of large bark, but as I say, I grow these in large bark and move them from one pot into another pot, but just keep on the large bark side. You can grow them in baskets, which will be fine, but they need a very high humidity. If you keep them a high humidity, these big thick roots will absorb some of the moisture. Another thing about these angraecums, by growing at sea level, they require plenty of air movement. I've had this about 8 years or more, and it's never flowered yet. I don't know why, because it's quite large enough. And if it does flower, the perfume on the plants is vacant during the day. There's none whatsoever. But as it becomes darker, the flower starts giving off its narcotic perfume, which oh, you've got to smell it to believe it. It's absolutely fantastic. And this aroma they give off, and the plant being white, attracts the moths at night to pollinate it. You know, the moth with the long tongue, it gets right down to the 1.5 foot spur. Well, that's about all I can say about it, so thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.